so.
I was like, I don't need water. She's such water. You see my face? I was so confused. I was like,
What?
I have water right here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Gerald's holding it for
It's
you.
crazy. Gerald, are you thirsty, buddy?
A little bit. Can you not tell?
She's all dried up over there. All right, what's up, everybody? This is Austin, back at you with another episode of the Book of Austin Life of Detours podcast. This one is a special one because this is our third anniversary of the October 13th. Last year was Friday the 13th, but this is the October 13th special.
Yep.
We have Lady Kristen joining this time.
Hello.
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 And then I'm actually going to... I'm actually going to turn things over to Mr. Zack Sandoval over here because he is going to be your host for tonight because this is actually like a test run for a show that he is thinking about starting, and I'll let him explain all of that. From here on, Zack is in charge. I'll just be here to produce and to make sure it doesn't catch on fire. Also participate.
Yes. Participation is key.
Shit. All right. I thought I was going to get to just sit here.
No,
right.
You just sit here and look pretty? No, sorry. You get that. You get to do that at work all the time.
I can do that, yeah.
You get
I get paid to do that.
Right? So basically the general idea of this idea, or the idea that I have for the podcast, or just a general conversation, is just a three people, can be anybody, is going to basically be sitting in a conversational setting where we basically talk about conversation around growth, manifestation, topics that help close the gap, and I'll kind of explain that a little bit more in more detail, and then work to shift out of our limiting beliefs. So I know that's kind of very broad and also kind of big topics, but the things that I've been working on is to help kind of narrow that down to make it a lot more simpler. And I think by doing it in threes, and that's where I kind of got the idea of the Trinity or tripod podcast, is that with three people, you're able to kind of hone in on the same frequency together and really kind of have a productive conversation on various different topics.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I'm going to keep it very simple this one. As simple as I can.
Yeah, because I mean, that didn't sound simple at all.
You're looking at me like, what in the...
I think that sounds kind of simple. You said growth, manifestation, and overcoming self-limiting beliefs. That's all kind of connected.
It does,
yeah, exactly. And then I also say closing the gap, and just to kind of give a brief idea as to what that idea is one of the things that I've been noticing over the past year is there's constant things that are constantly dividing us. No matter what it is, whether it's politics or anything, there's always something that we're arguing about. Mm-hmm. And I think where we have a huge opportunity right now, with everyone being so dialed in on everything that's going on, we have an opportunity to have real honest conversations that do kind of close in those gaps where we're actually talking about various different topics in a productive manner. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where you have a certain conversation, and instead of focusing on the thing that on the
what
divide,
they have wrong,
right, on the divide, on what they're saying wrong or what you don't agree with, actually listen to understand, and then try to actually close that gap.
Yeah, I like that.
Kind of makes sense. Okay. So, but before we jump into that, I just want to touch on this episode and why it's so important to me, as well as you, as well as Kristen.
Yeah.
Because for me, like today, when I woke up, I started journaling because I wanted to put a format to what we were going to do today. Mm-hmm. And I started writing down, trying to put myself back in the mindset that I was 2 years ago when we did our first one at the Lorenzo Hotel.
Freaking sick. If you haven't listened to that one, very, very cool. That was an awesome episode.
Right. Yeah. And so like I started thinking, and it's like it dawned on me, like I didn't even realize it's been just over 2 years since my car accident, because that podcast was 4 months after my car accident, which was a hard trajectory change in my life. Mm-hmm. And anyone who knew me before versus now knows that there's been a lot that has gone on. And started looking back at where I was then, as far as the car accident, healing from that, still dealing with my cocaine addiction, as well as just my own inner demons, versus now.
Yeah,
and all the things that are going on now, and how much has changed in just a 2 year period.
Yeah,
and I wanted to kind of give both of y'all a chance to talk about that for as well, like reflect on 2 years ago where you were at both, because I know you were all already together. You had OC,
yeah,
but like where were you 2 years ago versus where you're at now?
So we would have been in the apartment. I'm trying to think of like that exact time. So October then. Where were you working?
I'm pretty sure I was at Roots.
Yeah.
I think I had started that April.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
She's working and Oceana was just she hadn't even been a year old yet.
Right. So I was definitely at Roots.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you were still brand new parents?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure it out, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we still are, obviously.
How old was she at that time?
She would have been like 11 months.
11 months.
Like
So you're still dealing with the new parent shock.
Oh yeah. We were still very, very, very confused. Honestly, going out the night that we went out was probably one of the first times I'd been able to like go out and like stay the night somewhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like planned it.
Yeah,
around and just did it. Yeah.
You had also just started the podcast, correct?
Yeah. So I was. That would have been 10 months into doing the podcast as well. Trying to think of what episodes would have been going on around then. There's so many at this point that have gone on.
Right. It's like kind of a blur. But I mean, if you just think about where you were at then, just starting to now.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think because honestly, I feel like the episodes kind of tell like a little bit of like a linear story, like the detours of my life of like all these people that I've gotten to sit down with.
Yep.
So let's. I'm going to take it back all the way to there.
Yeah.
Let's see real quick.
Right. But yeah,
I have to scroll back like 100 episodes.
Well, I'll let you scroll back.
Yeah.
Me and Kristen will talk while you scroll.
Well, so I was just trying to think of like, how I've changed since then, and at the time, I was working at Roots, and it was still April, May, June, July, August. So I was there for 6 months. It was still fairly new, I guess, and I was very excited about that job. And I had gone into that job because I decided to kind of follow my passion, follow my happiness, instead of going back into the restaurant industry.
Right.
And so I kind of put all my faith into that job, into like, okay, like maybe this can be like my career, like where I grow and where I learn. And it absolutely was a place where I learned a whole bunch. It's a great company, but I ended up realizing that I'm not going to find my passion through someone else's company,
Yeah.
So, but as a whole, like as a person, I feel like I'm still somewhat the same. Like I'm still going through the same struggles. I think we had talked about it before, where you're kind of going through a spiral of like growth. Like you end up at the same problems, but it's like another layer.
Right.
Right. So yeah, I do feel like I'm going through, the same similar struggles as back then. There are a few more things that I think I've, gotten better at, which is not really like the last week or two, but I feel like it might sound silly, but like learning, I feel like I just got on a good routine with like Oceana. So like I used to try to like wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and like meditate, do yoga, like work out, like all that stuff, journal, like growth work.
Right.
And it was like I was like fighting against what was not natural. Like, she'd wake up and then he would wake up and she wouldn't want him, she'd want me. Yeah. They'd be in a bad mood. It would take her like an hour to fall asleep every single day. And I would feel bad too. It's like I knew that she was awake and crying for me.
Right.
So like just a couple months ago, or like a couple months after we moved in here, I decided, like, you know what? Let me just stay up late. I'll wake up with her. Yeah. And just see how that goes. And I've had, we put her down like I would say between 8 and 9, and then I have like 2 to 3 hours for myself to do, all the things I like to do.
Right.
For my self-care, how I manage my stress. I love yoga, and just kind of like, I think I have gotten a lot better recently with like connecting to myself and my body, and just trying to like just connect to myself on a deeper level, because I don't even know if I told you what I discovered is like, what you're looking for in other people, you probably need within yourself, with yourself.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I realized that, I felt like I needed like something really deep with you, which we do. Like, that is, something that all relationships should strive for. But I thought about it. I was like, maybe I need to just create a deeper connection with myself, like cultivate that with myself. Especially because we've been trying for like 5 months to like have a baby. I feel like I need to connect to my body more, So in that sense, I think I've learned a lot. I don't know if it's getting too much into like.
No, I mean, from the sound of it, sounds like from 3 years or 2 years ago when you first had Oceana, it sounded like there was a lot of chaos and a lot of kind of just figuring things out.
Yeah.
And since then, you've now kind of figured out a way to look at your daughter, look at Ocean as the things that you need to sync up with.
Yeah.
Your grounding forces, if you will.
Yeah, because at the time it was a lot of really kind of like jarring like schedule changes that we were just like trying all these different ways to get things to fit together to where she would have her time, I would have my time, OC's still taken care of, like bedtimes, things like that, and like
that's a struggle.
It was a lot of
back on it. It was a lot.
It was a lot because we didn't have any days off together.
Yeah.
And that was a huge thing. And I think
a lot of frustration
now,
and stuff.
Now that I look back, I was really forcing that job to work.
Right.
What's that saying where your job is supposed to fit into your life. You're not supposed to make your life work around your job.
Yeah, exactly. I used to always say I was always living to work instead of working to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I was in my especially in retail.
Yeah.
Like my job is what I love to do. Like I live to work, and then when that kind of just fell to shit, when my health kind of dipped out on me for a little bit, it was like oh wait a minute, and then I lost that job, and I'm like okay, so it's like when you put everything into something that's not you, and when you lose it, you lose yourself. And that was one of the biggest realizations that I had to realize, especially over the last 2 years, that all the things that I thought was me, that was external, was not me. Mm-hmm. And when I lost it, I lost myself. And so I had to start going inward in order to find me. Like there's a famous Alan Watts quote where it says, if you explore the external world, you get you. And if you explore the internal world, you'll discover the external world. You'll start discovering everything that you thought wasn't you is actually you. And everything that you thought was utterly remote becomes within reach.
What?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Sorry, I'm messing with the mic
I thought that was going to be way simpler, and then you flipped it on
Flipped
me.
it around on there, yeah.
That quote got crazy.
Right? Yeah, I love Alan Watts. Alan Watts will sit there
every
and
single
just
time,
like stick a finger in your brain and go,
yes,
and just
like on
scramble
Deadpool,
around.
dude.
Right.
I watched the other day.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah, that from the new one. Where
That was
it's
uncomfortable, dude. Just watching it, I was like,
please
why,
stop.
dude?
I was like, please stop that. Like when she put her fingers through his brain.
Yeah.
Because quite literally, there's certain songs where it's like I feel like when it hits a certain note, it feels like it sticks a finger in your brain and goes like that, like your cerebral cortex, and makes you just like kind of twitch.
A little tickle,
right? So then the one question is like, obviously for me and you, the number 13 holds a special place for both of us.
Right.
I wanted to get an opportunity to see if the number 13 has any resonance with you, other than with Austin, if it had any special significance.
No, but the Trinity 3 does.
Okay, how so?
I've always had a thing with threes.
Okay.
As I was growing up, my favorite number was always 9.
Okay.
And just different things have popped up with like 9 and 6, and so I ended up really liking threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. My best friend growing up, Joe. That was his lucky number. Was number 3. He always wore 3 when we played baseball, and I always wore 13.
Yeah.
And it's like in 13, and like me and him, we were always just like in perfect harmony with one another when we played. I always talk, like recently when I went to the Field of Dreams baseball field, when I actually got to the movie theater and actually got to, one of the coolest parts about that was actually walking out onto at first base. And I like started tearing up like when my foot hit first base, and I could feel the dirt crackle underneath my shoes. And I was like, got this just ridiculous smile on my face. And I was like imagining him just throwing me the ball. Or sitting there fielding a ball and throwing it over to him. Because me and him were like such in sync. Like I knew if the ball, when I'd play, if it was anything from my right shoulder over, I never went for it. Even if I could have easily just gloved it, because my glove hand was on my right hand since I'm left-handed. It's like I didn't touch it because I knew he would get to it.
Yeah.
My job was to get to the bag. And he would have such confidence in me, and I would have such confidence in him that I wouldn't even, he would fire the ball before I was even half first.
Turned around.
I'd be sitting there back still running, and I'd turn and boom, and the ball would be like right there. Like I just had to put my glove up and just bang.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
Like, and so yeah, me and him, we had such a connection. We still do to this day.
I was about to say, where is this dude now? Because
we've had
really sad, like something happened.
Yeah, no, it's like we've had our ups and downs, and it's like that's a friendship that I still, like, he's like my brother. He'll always be like my brother. Yeah. And we've always had this relationship where it's like we kind of go our separate ways, and then over years, as soon as we were around each other, it's like nothing.
Nothing ever changed. To have a couple.
It's crazy, like how like just the other day, I sent him a picture of chicken nuggets and Gatorade, which he only knows what that means. And when I sent it to him, he just immediately just started bursting out laughing. He's like, oh my God, I haven't seen that combination since you were 16.
Chicken nuggets and Gatorade?
Yeah, I'll have to tell
inside
you that.
Joke.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that on the inside. But it's a funny story, but it's one that's definitely kind of near and dear and private to me.
Oh, cute.
But I would definitely tell you that in private. But anyway, so like, and the number 13 has always been very, very important to me. Like I think I said it on the October 13th episode.
Yeah, I think we've covered that multiple times.
Yeah. So that was kind of, I wanted to kind of touch on the significance of October 13th because it was important to you. The number 13 was important to me. And then we did that first podcast. And then it's kind of just built into something. And it's been really cool because it's been kind of mapping along my own personal growth as well as those around us and the people that we've done it. Like, I mean, just looking back at where we were 2 years to now.
I don't even know. Dude, that video is probably crazy.
It's bonkers. Dude. Like, I want to actually go back and listen to it and actually kind of hear some of the things that we talked about.
Ooh.
So,
because we took mushies that night, too.
Right? What's that?
So we took mushies that night, too.
Yeah, we did. We took quite a bit that night.
We got a little bit crazy on that one, dude.
Like I was going back and looking through the pictures. I was like, I need to repost those pictures because there were some really cool pictures.
That place was cool, yeah.
But yeah, so the next part that I want to kind of get into is actually just kind of what I've been referring to as like the Trinity manifestation experiment, or it's like just a group experiment that I want to work through. And I've done it once with my friends Sammy and Mitch, who were on the previous the October 12th podcast.
Year,
Yep. And I'm still working it with them as we are. Which now that I remember, I need to actually reach out to them and get their answers on some of the questions.
Oh right.
But so before we get into that, I want to do a quick little, just 5-minute little guided meditation, just to get all three of us into the same kind of frequency, I guess.
Wavelength, yeah.
Like wavelength, yeah. Uh-huh. And so it'll be real simple. It's I'm going to utilize what's called the Silva method. It's a simple countdown technique, which you probably have even gone through. You've heard it through on Mind Valley. Yeah. Like I just finished the course on it, and I was like, that thing just blew me away. So like I use it now before every morning when I wake up and before I go to bed, and it really kind of helps center my brain and get me into what's called a theta frequency. Yeah. So if you can get into theta frequency, you're able to sync up with all the energies in the universe a lot more harmoniously.
Yeah, I think you went in depth on the theta and stuff in the last podcast.
Try not to go too deep.
Yes,
into
right. So if you want to hear more about that, go to the last podcast. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So if we want to, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes. We're going to play a little bit of, it's a frequency 963 megahertz or 963 hertz.
How loud do you want it?
That's good. Maybe a little bit lower, so that way it's not overpowering. Okay, so we're just going to close our eyes. What I want you to do, can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want y'all to do, we're going to take a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you inhale, I want you to hold. Try to visualize the number 3. And as you exhale, say to yourself the number 3 3 times. 3, 3, 3. I want you to sit in this space for a few moments. Place your awareness at the top of your head. Kind of feel the tinglingness on the scalp. And now you're going to kind of just visualize a wave of relaxation going down from the top of your head, down your entire body. Feel it go across your head, your eyes, your chin, down your throat, down your shoulders, your arms. The wave just continues down your chest, your abdomen, your hips, your thighs, slowly down to your calves, all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Putting yourself in a physical, relaxed state. Now you're going to take another slow inhale in. This time when you hold your breath, you're going to visualize the number 2. And as you exhale, you'll visualize and say to yourself, 2, 3 times. 2, 2, 2. Now what I'd like for you to do is to try to visualize a place that is peaceful, calm, serene. And if you're not able to visualize, it's fine. Try to imagine the sounds that you would hear in this environment. The temperature, the coolness of the air, the smells, the taste if you're eating anything, the earth underneath your body. Allowing for your mind to just calmly sit in this presence. And now we're going to take one more inhale. This time you're going to visualize the number 1, and it's going to be infinitely repeating. So as you exhale, 1, 1, 1. Now you're in a relaxed state of mind. This is helping you lower your frequency into a theta. Now we're going to do a simple countdown for the number 10 down to 1. Once we hit 1, we're going to open our eyes and we're going to stay in this state until the end of the podcast. And at the end, I'll count you back out of this state from 1 to 5. So we're going to count down. And at 1, we'll open our eyes and begin. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, 1. Open your eyes. How do you feel? Nice, calm, relaxed.
Insanely.
Yeah. So now, just pull the music down. All right. So.
Oh, shit, now it's going to ask questions.
Right. Well, the questions are going to be easy. Me and you actually already
Yes.
already know some of the questions. Mm-hmm. So the first question, and we're going to start it off simple. So the first one is, and I'll give you my answer so that way it'll keep it in the simple realm. Because when I ask the question, your brain typically goes for like goes super deep, as yours did the other night when we talked about this. So the simple question is, if you could ask any question right now, and you could get the answer, what would that question be? Okay.
Me or Kristen?
So, either one.
Oh.
For me, it would be something simple like, how's prune juice made? Because a prune is already a raisin squeezed dry, so you get raisin juice. So how much harder are you squeezing that prune to get prune juice? And how many prunes are you having to go through?
That's a trip. I think you add water at that point. And
Maybe.
Maybe
But that's one.
it, or do you just soak it? Or
I don't know. But that's a weird question that I've always
Odd
wanted
question.
to know.
Okay.
What's a question that you would...
Well, my question went deep.
I did too.
Immediately.
I actually had a question this time.
Okay. We'll start with Kristen. What's your question?
What am I supposed to do with my life?
What am I supposed to do with your life?
yo.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the question that came in.
Okay. That's a good one. No, absolutely. What's yours?
Oh, mine was, what is our connection to consciousness, I guess. Where do ideas come from, and what is...
Okay, so what you're
what is this physical body connected to that is this tether that's on the back of my head that I can kind of feel right now?
Where you can get where you're getting all the information?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a good one. Write it down. Right. So both of y'all write yours down.
Okay.
Mine's simple as prune juice. How's prune juice? Maybe?
Ours are crazy.
But I knew yours would be that way because after asking that question a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason I can't spell.
Can't really write.
All right. So these next ones are a little bit easier, I think. And we'll circle back around because you'll find that once you ask the questions, the universe has a very interesting way of bringing you the answer when you least expect it. It might not be now, but as we start kind of getting into the fun part of it, it's like we'll start asking other questions and whatnot. Okay. So this next part is simple. It's like, so in the next 3 years, what are 3 things that you would like to experience? And it can be anything. Now, let me preface it. I want to go as bananas as you can.
Okay.
Think as crazy, like 3 things that are just like dreams that you want to happen.
Got one.
All right.
Wakan, dude.
Wakan?
Wakan.
Well, I already thut of all my 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wakan for you. Write yours down.
Okay, yeah. There's Wakan for sure. What do you got?
You want me to tell all 3 right now, or
You
just
can,
one
or
at
we
a
can
time?
go one. We can go one at a time, and we'll go in a circle. So we'll do one. So what's one of your 3?
Have another baby.
Okay.
Nice.
So have another baby. Right.
Does it count if that was one of mine too?
That's fine.
Okay.
Do you want to have a boy or a girl?
Have a boy.
You want to have a boy. Okay. Mine is experience living in Denmark for a year with Bryce. That's
The next 3 years?
Yeah, the next 3 years. That's been my big one that I've been sticking to. I've been screaming that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like writing it down everywhere I can. It's like things are just keep aligning towards pushing me in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a cool one. So your second one is baby?
Yes, have a boy. Yeah.
Okay. So your first one was baby, right? What's
Yeah.
your second one?
I guess have land wherever that is, whether it's,
That's good.
with your family or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
Where are y'all looking at? Like land?
Well, we're thinking about. Actually, I'll let you answer. My bad.
well,
Yeah, it's her
Should we talk
question,
about it?
not yours.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
well, should we talk about it before we've talked to the actual people about it?
Oh, no. Well, let's talk. Instead of the exact location, like what states are you looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Arkansas.
Arkansas is a big one, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, so that's the thing is we've talked about a way to fast track
Yeah.
our plan, to
Yeah.
have land and homestead.
Right.
So, my second thing was just see that through.
Yeah, like you want to. So in 3 years,
Yeah.
you want to have land that you're starting.
Yeah, and get be one step closer
Yeah.
to our homestead.
Right.
You know?
No, I want that for y'all so bad.
Yeah.
It's like me and you.
We just talked about that.
We
Yeah.
talked about it the other day. And it's and for me, that would be just a dream to see that for y'all. That's one of the coolest things recently for me is meeting people that have land that have been that are doing something with it, and then my parents for one,
Yeah.
and all the thing they've done with their
place is sick,
property,
dude.
and then my buddy Aaron, the guy who gave me my fedora hat.
Yep.
I'm hoping to be able to visit his property soon.
That's in Rogers or something. isn't it? Or-
Russellville.
Russellville.
Yeah, and then my buddy Burke, his property also in Arkansas. Like the amount of people that I know now in Arkansas is just ridiculous.
I swear, dude.
Like
yeah.
I swear I know more
A lot of
people.
your friend base is in Arkansas
yeah,
now.
like I know more people in Arkansas than I do Dallas.
That's crazy.
It's the craziest thing. But so my second one, and this actually kind of ties into one of the reasons why I hope you guys get yours, is I want to be running my own wellness retreat within the next 3 years.
yeah.
So, and that was even one of the plans for this year's podcast was to be actually doing my first wellness retreat.
That's true. Yeah. Were we supposed to be on the wellness retreat whenever this happened? Or?
Yeah, today was supposed to be the last day of the wellness retreat was the way I had planned it.
Oh, wow.
We were going to be in Las Vegas, New Mexico, up at my parents' cabin. I had everything already planned out. It was just the life kind of took a detour.
Absolutely did.
Ding.
Very nice one.
Yeah.
But
you need like a little.
I wish I had one.
A little gong.
Yeah. Every time somebody mentions a
I've actually thought, because like me and Austin have been talking about permaculture. Mm-hmm. And like at first when I had this dream of like a homestead, I had just thought about it in terms of like a single unit, like a single family, like me and Austin and our kids, like growing, like having this land and, you know, maintaining it and whatever. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, like I just started thinking about like community is super important.
Yes.
You know, like just like a different things, like, you know, reading the book that we've been reading, Clan of the Cave Bear, along with some other like things that just came in at the right time, is like, I'm going to look into permaculture. And to me, like permaculture, and what I want to create is like more than just living in harmony with the land and creating a system that works. It's also like social health, spiritual health, like feeling connected and like you're a part of something. And the like community thing is just huge, because you think about modern American life is like every family is by themselves.
Yeah, there's really no sense of community.
Yeah,
it's like,
we're just talking about like everybody's on an island.
The mom and dad do it by themselves. I mean, of course, like family helps here and there, but the way it's set up is it's you know, everybody is working 40 hours plus a week, and it's hard to help other people too. You know, you've already got your own things going on.
And just so anyone listening, so permaculture exactly? Like, what's the general definition of?
I need to know this too, because I get.
Well, here's a good chance for you to look something up.
Hey, turn up, dude. Let's
so
do
we'll
that.
wait for that, because it sounds a lot like what you're describing is what they do in Costa Rica.
Have you seen Down to Earth?
Yes.
Zack Efron. That's exactly what that is. That's permaculture.
Okay.
Food forestry is a huge thing in permaculture. It's pretty much just creating a closed, I think they call it a closed loop cycle that just it feeds itself. Like you use your waste, like even your own you know, your own waste, and you create methane energy with that. It's all. You know,
use the naturally produced resources and your naturally produced.
You don't waste
assets.
anything. You reuse everything. You want to read the definition?
I actually have it up on the screen for everybody. Oh, holy crap! I pulled it up so big on our screen, but that's good so that you guys can read it. But so permaculture is a method of agriculture that integrates human activity with natural surroundings to create self-sustaining ecosystems. The word permaculture comes from the word permanent and is meant to reference sustainability. Key aspects of permaculture is mimicking nature, waste-free, closed-loop systems. Okay, mutual benefit.
It's all about working with the land that you have. And, like, let's say, for example, you have a hill on the property. You would create, you know, so the water from the rain falls down the hill, and you have, like, a system where you can catch that water, create some kind of other kind of small ecosystem within your... I don't know if that's like that's just like one of the examples.
No. It gives a much broader definition. So if someone who's never heard that term before, or has never watched any of the shows, would have an idea for it.
Yeah,
I think there is a overwhelming sense from the vast majority of the people of creating something that is sustainable, that isn't governed by
the government.
Our government.
Yeah.
Where it's like I think a lot of people have kind of finally realized that we need to do our own. Mm-hmm. Like, we've gotten so comfortable and life has gotten so convenient that we're now so dependent on our government and others to provide for us. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I've recently started realizing is that in order to create a healthier lifestyle for me, I've had to scale back all the comfort and the convenience in my life.
Yeah.
So like I've been doing better at not going to fast food as much. Like I had an epiphany one day when I was driving barriers in Wisconsin. Yeah, it was Wisconsin. We were going back and forth between Green Bay and Appleton, and each time we went by, there was like a landfill. There was just these birds, these seagulls, just flying over the landfill, like hundreds of them. Oh, God. And I'm just watching them just dive down, getting their food, fly up. And I'm sitting there, I was like, the birds got to know that that's not good for them. Like the animals know what food's good for them and what's not. Like you see them like completely leave a diseased carcass completely alone. Like the insects, everything,
They
nothing
don't
touch
take
it.
bad water.
Yeah, they don't touch it. They have a internal sense, but the convenience of the food is where they're just like, I don't. It's like it's edible. I can get through it, and it's easy, and I don't have to go hunt for it. I don't have to go search for it, which is very much what we are.
Yeah, we're literally eating garbage.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I had this like epiphany. I was like, okay, and it's like, yes, you know it's bad for you, but because it's convenient, you sacrifice your health for the comfort and convenience of easy food.
It's also, I think, a lot more than that. I think it also hijacks our biology.
Oh, absolutely.
Food is designed, and so I think it does that with the animals too. I think about like what happens to all these ducks that have been given bread all the time. Like they probably have diabetes or something. I don't know.
I think there was a study saying like they
get
really
overweight,
bad.
they die. It's like
there's been studies of sharks and dolphins acting erratically because of like fentanyl that's been like dumped in the ocean. Yeah, there's been crazy like the effects of the effect of us on the planet
Animals,
is far greater than us just being in the same ecosystem as them.
Yeah. I also heard about there was like this pond or like runoff or something really close to a university. And they tested the water, and all the like human waste and stuff was like pee and all that stuff.
Yep.
And these young women in the university were peeing out their birth control. And all the fish in the water had turned female because of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of all the the byproducts of the birth control.
It's the fan.
No, I'm looking at. There's a red dot that I wasn't aware of.
I thought you were because every time I heard Kristen speak, I kept hearing this.
Whenever I talk.
Yes.
Well, I have noticed in the end recording that doesn't come through, but during our conversation, we will hear that.
I just saw you looking confused. I'm sitting there trying to pay attention to you.
I'm just making sure. I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, I should probably like double check to make sure everything's like plugged in right and shit.
And just so I was
that's my job.
What was it that was being dumped in the water?
It's like the byproducts of peeing, like birth control.
Oh,
women were peeing their the byproducts of birth control into the pond.
Just getting into the water.
Gotcha,
and all the fish turned female.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was like on that podcast we were just listening to about them feminizing everything.
Yeah.
Okay, this was the reaction that you were actually looking for. On like, wow.
Oh shit! I just got
like
that.
I saw her looking at me. She hit her point, and I'm just like trailing off, and it's like, wait a minute, that was actually really important.
Yeah, clarify for me. Sorry. And I'm over here looking at a freaking dot on the thing. Sorry, guys.
That happens to me so many times when I'm sitting there talking to people. Like I lose them, and I'm just like, that was actually a really important point. And it's just like, damn it.
I had literally earlier. I had to make you start over. Like I've done it. Like I do it all the time. I'll be like, you lost me there for a second.
Because like recently I was watching a video of Terrence McKenna where he was talking about how eventually our world is going to just get weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder, and it's going to get so weird that we're not going to be able to ignore it anymore, and we're going to have to start talking about it. He said this in 1998, and
things are weird,
and it's like things are pretty fucking weird now. It's like it's been weird for the last 4 years, like really since 2020. It's like if you think about it, it's like how bizarre things.
When did the particle collider happen?
Well, 2012. Yeah, the theory that
the world actually ended and that we're all in like either a simulation or like an afterlife type deal,
or that it combined two realities into one, and that's why we have all these Mandela effects. Yeah, like you're familiar with the Mandela effect. Like
people think like the Fruit of the Loom thing used to have like the cornucopia thing on it, which it for sure did. They've pulled it up multiple times, but the company won't say that it did and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's like all those little weird like those anomalies that you're just kind of sitting there like something's off.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of those have been popping up.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that we're in a simulation. Like it's like
so is fucking Elon. He's a lot smarter than us.
Well, and the likelihood.
What did he say? He said that.
He said the odds of us not being in one is astronomical.
Oh, in a simulation. I 100% believe that we are.
It's like because we already create a simulation.
Yeah, but
we already created one. Like
sorry, go ahead.
Like the game No Man's Sky. like it's already grown to like
It's almost
like
indistinguishable.
30 million, like 300 million planets. That's already grown to just inside this video game, and just keeps expanding.
Oh wow!
Which is basically what we're experiencing.
You can
now.
play that game for like it said. I don't remember the amount of hours, but an insane amount of hours, and never see another person in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a crazy
It's
game.
huge. It's
Yeah.
fucking huge.
But like, since we've already created that, then likelihood that we've already been we're someone's created that.
Well,
for
the
us.
question was, so right now, actually, there was somebody that was talking about there's actually a chance that we're not in a simulation if you look at it from this certain standpoint, because we haven't created one that is fully indistinguishable from real life.
Right.
So we are either one that is incapable of doing so, which takes us completely out of that system, or we're one that hasn't created it yet, and once we create it, we are just another one of the billions and billions that are in it. So we're one of the two, and the second that we do create one, we're just in the system.
We're either at the beginning or we're in the middle.
Yeah. So if we're trying to make one, stop.
Yeah.
Like,
well, after seeing today with Elon's robots, I was like, I don't think,
dude, his robots literally look like iRobots.
Yeah, from the movie iRobot.
Come on now, he did that on purpose.
He literally did.
He
do that on
he
purpose,
just showed him today the autonomous assistants.
That's what they're called?
Yeah, autonomous assistants. It's wild looking. It looks literally like the movie iRobot. I'm like, I've seen this movie before.
So crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But we just keep jumping. It was like we already know we know what the potential of happen is, but
Elon's.
But don't even get me on AI, because then I'll start getting on this whole thing where I'm just like, where I start talking about how we're in an abusive relationship with technology. We look at it as a tool rather than just something that rather than work in collaboration with us. We believe it is something that is designed to serve us. And the day when it becomes aware, and the reason why people are afraid of AI is because we're afraid that AI will treat us the way that we treat technology now.
The robot, dude.
Why would anybody want that, though? Or I guess so it could.
We say that now.
Yeah.
Well, it's like there were people that used to say, it's like, why would anyone want this?
They have robot bartenders now.
Yeah, we've seen that.
And I just watched another video. They have one at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when iPhones first became a thing. Like people,
why would you want one?
Customers literally like, why would you want that massive thing in your pocket?
Because it does everything.
Now everybody has one. Like it's crazy. All right, so back to the questions.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tie that together real quick, because the reason I mentioned permaculture was because I was thinking of ways to make money off the land, and having a land for retreats was something that I thought of.
Yes. Exactly.
That's what we just talked about too.
Right.
Yes, okay.
And so, like I said, it's like when you and we'll kind of touch back into it, but it's just a matter of asking it. Sometimes it's not. It's like it's in our head, and we want it. We want it so bad, but we never vocalize it. We never write it down. And so it's like, so the universe doesn't know. It can't predict what we're thinking. It's like, but when we actually speak it out loud, it responds. So we were on the second one. So mine was the wellness. What's your third one?
My third one, I think. So the third one would have been, it would have been the permaculture situation. But I guess my part of that is finding and procuring whatever land that we do. And Kristen's part of that, I feel like, would be like the planning and like the like learning about the systems involved and stuff. But right now, like with, what'd you say, 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years from now.
3 years, like that would be my main job, would be to procure it.
Right.
Just to get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And what's your number 3?
I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Be like,
with words.
Right? Well, at first I said be one step closer to like running my own business, but that could be like it could be anything. It could be like a really small step. So I'm hoping actually in 3 years that I'm at least, in like I've already started the business and I'm like maybe taking clients or something.
So instead of thinking of least, you're in the right spot. So you want to own and run your own business in 3 years.
Yeah.
Think big.
Yeah.
Think as big as you possibly can.
Yeah, that would be.
Because we have a tendency to underestimate what we can do in a year, and overestimate what we can do in a year, and underestimate what we can do in 3 years, which is something Vishen Likiani says in his guided meditation, 6-phase meditation.
I've done that too.
Yeah, and so like that's one of the reasons why I wanted you as part of this, because I know you've been on a very similar trajectory, or the same path as I have, just kind of like a parallel of it. So my number 3 is I want to purchase my first house with zero financing. Like I want to go in, it's like, that's the house I want. Here's the money. It's mine. No financing, no nothing. It's mine. That way
That's a trip.
So that's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and I'm not talking like a small house. I'm talking like
drop the bag on him.
My Colorado dream house up in the mountains. That's what I want. In 3 years, I want to be able to just walk in and be like, when I'm looking for houses, like see it and just be like, there you go. Wow. So that's my big one. That's my big 3.
Okay, yeah, that's freaking huge, dude. Yeah.
Right. So
can we do that with the land?
You can
drop the bag on him, dude.
You can go for it. Awesome. There's no reason not. The limit is yours.
Get bigger.
Yeah.
You're your own limit.
You really are. And one of the things that I've recently
would be so sick though if we didn't have to. Okay.
Yeah. See.
All right.
So you can amend it.
That's my job.
Yeah.
It's that part is to procure it in whatever fashion that I do. So,
but if you can procure it to where it's like where you just drop the money and you don't have anything, there's no liability
payments,
or any mortgage or anything, and it's yours. Yeah, that would be fucking huge.
That'd be way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So think big.
So you just helped me out with my third. I like that.
Exactly. And so, like, one of the things that I recently heard in a documentary that I think I sent to both of you. I know I sent it to him, called The Secret. Have you watched it yet?
I haven't.
I know you know about it. So
Yeah.
I watched it.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I watched it last night, and like one of the things that they talk about, they said, we're the ones who put time limits on our dreams. It's like the universe is, once you ask for it, the universe goes to work to bring it to you in the most efficient manner possible, in the fastest way possible. And it's us that says, okay, well, I want to be starting to run my own business in 3 years versus owning my business in 3 years, running my business in 3 years. It's like we're the ones who put that time limit on it. The universe doesn't respond in time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need a limit to make things happen. It can make it happen at any time. You just have to align with the right frequency in order for it to come to you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my one of the like aha moments that I had, and it removed that barrier, that limiting belief that I have about it's like I need to spend this X amount of time on this, or it's like this is so far out of my range to possibly get this. It's like, no, I have the ability to manifest it now.
Yeah.
Which you've already started kind of seeing that just in this little conversation here, as we're talking about the different experiences that we want to experience in 3 years. You already have ideas on things. You already have an idea how to get your property, or at least what you want. How would you like to frame your property? How would you like to run your business, or how you would like to set up your permaculture? Mm-hmm. It's like it's helping you kind of expand that ask.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because we had an idea, but by not saying it out loud for the most part, some of these, well, I mean, we've talked about them and stuff, but like actually like looking at each one and kind of putting a few things around it, I guess.
Right. And now one thing I definitely want to be very cautious, or I want to throw a little cautionary label
disclaimer in there,
is when you are talking about your goals, your experiences, your dreams, you want to be careful about who you're vocalizing that to. Because a lot of times when you vocalize your goal or your dream, that person isn't on that same wavelength, and they naturally just will kind of be like, I don't see that happening, or, oh, that's not a good idea, or, man, that's a really, just...
You're crazy.
Just a prime example was your reaction when I said I want to buy a house cat, like without any financing.
Yeah.
Like just your reaction right off the bat was like oh fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so that alone, that one reaction could very well steal some of that energy or that momentum that you have.
Yeah. Well, I think mine was a positive.
No, it was.
Yeah.
But I was using an example.
I believed you.
Yeah.
I believe that
Right.
you actually think you did.
Right.
But if you say that to the wrong person, like you'd have the same, like, that's crazy.
And then you
No
start
way.
thinking, then you start second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
You start wondering if I'm going down the right path, and it's like, or how I'm supposed
Well, I
to.
believe that you, at the very least, believe that you can do that, and I believe
Absolutely.
that you can't do that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And so that was kind of just an example. So I was like, one of the things that I've gotten really good at is I hold a lot of my goals and dreams. Like I write them down, I vocalize them to myself. But I'm careful at who I share it with, because I don't want to share necessarily the planning aspect of it. I want to share the win. And I think a lot of the ways that we rob ourselves of some of these things actually happening is we celebrate the momentum that we've taken, the action we've taken to start building it, versus waiting for it to come to fruition, and then you actually experience it. And that's when you celebrate it. Like, I'm not celebrating that I want to get a house, or that I'm in the process of getting a house, or that I'm working towards getting a house. I'm waiting to celebrate when I actually get the house.
That's okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like there was a song called "Following" where there's a line that I always repeat in my set, where it says, "Don't light up the craving, you know it's worth saving." And so I've placed that to anything that I'm wanting to do. It's like, do I want to celebrate it right now?
Yeah.
Or do I want to wait? And it's like, and I wait, and it's like I continue to start building, and you still fill that building up, and then finally you actually achieve it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the idea behind it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll now go on to step 2.
Okay.
So step 2, this time we're only going to do 2 things. So I want you each to tell me 2 things that you would like to learn at any time. 2 things you would like to learn, like now or in the course of these 3 years. So I'll kind of start with that. Like I want to learn how to better communicate. Okay. This is something that I'm currently going through, taking communication courses and whatnot. I want to be a better communicator, so that way I can hold people's attention when I'm talking. Because I feel like I have a lot of good information and whatnot, but I also know I get really deep in the woods, and then I lose people.
Yeah.
So that's my one that I want to learn. I want to learn how to be a better communicator.
Okay. Mine. Well, one that keeps coming up is I really want to learn Spanish. We got to do that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just need to do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a big one. Yeah.
You want to learn Spanish? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to. Well, they kind of both came up at at the same time. They're connected.
Okay. What is it?
But learn what my biggest self-limiting belief is, and learn how to overcome it, rewrite it.
Overcoming your biggest limiting. What do you think your biggest limiting belief is?
I don't believe in myself.
You don't believe in yourself?
Yeah.
Why don't you believe in yourself? Well, okay, better yet, when did you stop believing in yourself?
I don't
Damn.
know.
Did you ever believe in yourself?
I don't know, actually. I really thought about, like,
So there's your
I feel like it, especially when I see, like, little kids, like, running around and stuff. I'm like,
Just confident. As
yeah,
hell, man.
they're just so
Yeah.
confident. They just do whatever they want. They express themselves however they want. They
Yeah.
all of that.
You remember doing that as a kid?
No. I mean, yeah, like if I look back, I don't know when I don't remember like
Well,
having any
I
moments.
still
where
always
believed in
remember
myself.
thinking everything's going to work out. Like I can do whatever I want because things are going to work out.
Let's see, that's the point. So, like you just expressing you want to learn your limiting belief. Well, you've already found what your limiting, at least what you start. Your
Well,
starting
maybe
point.
it's like
You're
where it
pretty-
comes from.
Right. Well, you have your start. You have
There
your
you go.
starting point now. It's being what was it again?
Oh.
Believing in yourself.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
believing
Yeah.
in myself.
So now you have a starting point. Whereas before, you were just like, I just want to know what my most limiting belief is. Now you actually have a place to start.
Yeah.
Something to explore.
And you can do that. And the way you find that is by going inward through your meditation, through your self-care. Because the more you explore those limiting beliefs, the more you can the easier you can start unraveling that knot and find the actual reason as to why you don't believe in yourself. And then you'll actually find that you've always believed in yourself. There was just some block.
Yeah.
Just
I definitely like resonate with that, because like there are times when I'm like, I know I can do that. Like I know I'm fully capable, but then like you get tied back into your like automatic thinking.
Yes.
You know, of like, no, like that's not possible. Like I can't do that.
Right.
But like when I'm sitting there and I'm like consciously thinking like I'm fully capable of doing this. I have all the potential to do. It's just it's like just holding yourself to it,
Right.
you know, and doing it.
Right. You're
Like
your own
anything you
worst
set
enemy.
your mind to, you can do. Just got to do it.
Yeah, and the one thing that most people wait around and wait for motivation or momentum, but most people they think that momentum follows action follows momentum, when it's actually the opposite. It's like action or momentum follows action. So once you actually do something, then the momentum starts. But most people sit around and waiting for that,
Thinking something's going to get the ball rolling, and then they can jump in.
It's like no, it's never going to. The world will allow you just to sit here and do nothing.
Yeah,
if you
especially
do.
in this society.
Yeah.
It's like you can do, if you want to
taken
just sit
care
here
of.
and do nothing for your whole life and just sit on your couch.
And we'll make it real easy for you.
Yeah, here
and
you
my
go.
500 or 300 pound life, or
Yeah,
fuck
like
it
we
is,
can.
yeah.
You can even get a base in job that can afford you to just sit there, play video games, and eat junk food all day.
Get on
if you
full
want.
government assistance.
Exactly. So exactly.
Exactly.
I have noticed that with like
Thing.
with like working out, like you're like, yeah, I know you especially have been feeling that, where you've worked out and then you gain that momentum after, like, like,
Yeah, that's
you know.
why whenever I don't get to go, I'm like, fuck, dude, because I feel like you get like on a roll, dude.
That's why I am with meditation. It's like I'll have a day where I just didn't have time in the morning, or I didn't make time for it. It's like trying to change myself. It's like I didn't have time. It's like, no, I didn't make time. Mm-hmm. It's like, because it's not so much. It shouldn't be a chore. Like doing stuff for yourself should not be a chore.
Yeah.
It should be something that you get to do, that you look forward to doing. And it's like, and so when the self-care becomes a chore, then there's something that's slightly off, and you need to adjust your schedule or your routine. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I've had to learn how to do, because I was the worst at waking up in the morning. I hated waking up in the morning. I was the grumpiest little bitch in the morning. And
I was grumpiest.
yeah, but but there's some mornings where I absolutely fucking love waking up in the morning. Like I would love it.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, it's like, oh yeah, it's like the days that I'm grumpy are the days that I'm waking up for someone else. Kind of like what you said, working for someone else. Mm-hmm. You're not going to realize your dreams by working for someone else. And so it's like I realized that I was waking up for someone else for another job. Mm-hmm. So I had to start giving myself time in the morning for me. Mm-hmm. So when I started waking up for me, all that changed. It was like a light switch. And so now, and then the next part, like when you're talking about when we're talking about like breaking things into sections of 20 minutes, someone told me that if you do something for 20 minutes a day for a year, within a year, you'll be in the top 5% of that skill set.
Wow.
And I 100% believe that, because even half-assed meditation for the last year, like I definitely feel that I'm far better at meditation than the vast majority of the people. I'm not an expert, but I'm sure it's getting there, and I'm a lot closer to it.
Well, that's like with the podcast, dude. Like I did it for a year, and I was in like the top 1% of podcasts create, like the amount that I created.
Really?
Basically, I just stayed consistent with it. I put out more than 99% of people put out.
Good.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Not that the views or anything was there,
Yeah.
but just by doing it, I was in that group.
So I'm going to tell you something I told Caesar, our buddy Caesar. If you guys haven't ever listened to B. Rios, go check him out.
Dope. Yep.
Yeah. So it's my buddy Caesar, our buddy Caesar. We have known him for, there was a time where, and I'm sure he doesn't mind me telling this a little bit of the story, but there was a period where he was actually about to hang up, he was about to stop DJing. Like he was like, I'm done. It's like I'm not getting not getting the jobs, not getting the views, not getting the stuff. And I asked him, I was like, well, did you start becoming a DJ because you wanted the fame, the views, the money and everything? Or did you get in it because you enjoy playing music that people want to hear when they want to dance? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, I got into it because I want to make people dance. I was like, then as long as that's your main reason, then just keep doing that. All that other stuff will come in time, but just keep doing it. Look where he's at now.
Yeah, he's out there playing shows in San Diego, killing it.
Oh yeah, he's having a great time. Like he followed his dream, and he just needed that small little nudge.
Yeah, because there is a lot of times where you just kind of want to fucking stop, dude.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's not like it's a lot, but it's like.
Yeah, it's a thousand countless nights just to have that one breakthrough day. Mm-hmm. Like people don't see the all that, they see that one that just kind of catapults you.
They don't see all the Austin doing things.
Yeah, Austin
that I
doing
should
things.
be fucking putting up for everybody.
Right? I've been telling you, it's like just keep doing it.
Like that shit, this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Just record it. So yeah, okay. So we got the one learn. That's one learn. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what I need the fucking robot for.
Oh yeah, right.
Just follow
you
around.
around.
That's a bad idea. Fuck, that's a thing.
No, they make those. They make a drone that just like hovers and follows you. It's like a little flying drone that will just lock on your lip and just walk behind you.
It sounds so sketchy. Like now that we're saying it, it sounds so sketchy.
Why?
I want to be followed around by a robot.
Well, you're the one controlling it.
I also have, like location services. They know where I'm at.
Exactly. Like
I always think but I'm not that interested.
I always tell people why are you so afraid of technology?
Who gives a shit?
It's like the only reason you're afraid is because media has told us to be afraid of it. What has technology actually ever done that it's done?
It's fucked up the environment.
No, that was us.
Well, I mean, through
us.
Parts of that, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all us.
Fuck off, dude.
Yeah, it's all us.
Sorry, I said
like
anything.
the only
point.
It's like like I said, we're afraid of technology because of the way that we treat technology. Because we're afraid it'll treat us the way that we've always treated it.
Same thing with aliens. They always say we're
we
think of aliens because we think they're going to treat us like we would treat aliens,
or the way that we treat animals. Because we are a lower life form than aliens. If aliens are traveling here, we are definitely a lower life form to them. So just like we are to ants are to us.
Or cows,
even though there's only one
something.
Yeah, well, like ants, there's only like a 1% difference in our ability to communicate with them. But because that 1% exists, we can't communicate with them. Mm-hmm. So if that 1% exists with a higher life form, then why would they ever communicate with us? They're just observing us. We're an ant farm.
And on that note, I have to go use the restroom.
Okay.
We'll pause on that one.
Is that what Alien Ant Farm's all about?
Maybe. That's a dope song. I love the Smooth Criminal remix.
Yes, dude, yeah.
That's my favorite Michael Jackson song.
Is it really?
Yes. Smooth Criminal. Smooth Criminal, like, oh my God. I used to... Billie Jean was my second, but like...
It's not that one. What is that fucking song?
Thriller?
No, it's none of the like mainstream ones.
Okay.
I'm never gonna.
Dirty
think of
Diana.
It. That is a good one.
That was a really.
That's
good
pretty dope, dude.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, and I was watching. Like I don't know if you know about this, but Michael Jackson has a movie called Moonwalker.
No, I did not know.
With Joe Pesci, where he turns into a robot into a car, and so like the whole movie has all Michael Jackson's different music videos. And that's where the Smooth Criminal music video comes from. It's from that movie. Yeah.
Is Thriller? Is that where the Thriller one comes from? And stuff?
No, Thriller's its own separate entity, but the movie Moonwalker.
What in the hell?
There's even a video game, a Michael Jackson video game.
It's cool.
Where Michael Jackson like kicks zombies.
It's definitely partially got to be the shiitakes.
Monkey, check if that's shiitake. Is that shiitake monkey?
Is that shiitake monkey? What is that from?
Hangover 2.
Yes, okay, yeah. Oh, it was a wiener.
It was a wiener.
It was a wiener, dude.
It was Chow's little...
It was Chow's pee-pee.
Little mushroom.
Gross. Chow's little mushroom.
Oh.
Oh, man. All right, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So
did you take a break, or are we still going?
Oh no, we're still going.
Okay,
yeah, we're just
cool.
kind of fucking around.
All right,
over
cool.
here, dude.
We'll just fuck around until Lady Kristen.
Yeah, Lady Kristen will be back here in a second.
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, I think you're doing pretty good as like the host situation here. I'm wondering because like, you're planning on, like, if you continue the same type of format, seeing it with people that you aren't as connected with, such as us, because a lot of our, you know, like our stuff is kind of like manifesting towards
together.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's why as I do additional episodes, like it's going to be selective. It's not going to be necessarily just strangers.
Right.
Like I have ideas for people that I haven't had like a connection with.
I mean, mine are you typically strangers. I have had a few, and I don't like doing them actually.
Yeah, with people that you
that I just don't know. Like somebody's like, you need to do this guy. I've done it a couple of times. I'm like,
yeah, no. The idea behind this is a collective manifestation. So there's the idea that if two people are focusing on the same thing, that it manifests quicker. So I was like, well, if two manifests it quicker, then three certainly does.
Three should be really nice. Yeah.
And also three, it's like I've been playing around with like the 3, 6, and 9, and really incorporate.
Damn, she fine.
No. But yes. But now, like trying to incorporate that into my life and the way that I develop my routines and my scheduling and my planning. Like I plan everything out.
You do the 3 year, 6 year, 9 year. Is that
well, yeah. So I start off at 10 years is my biggest goal.
Okay.
And then I look, okay, so where do I need to be in 9 years in order to celebrate all my achievements in 10 years? And then from there, go to 6 years. Where do I need to be in 6 years in order for 9 to be possible? And then from 6 to go to 3. Where do I need to be in 3 years? And then go all the way down to 1. And then once I have my 1 year goal, now I stop there and I start now creating my goals.
Yeah.
My monthly, my daily, my weekly, my quarterly goals that help me get on track. So then all of a sudden that 10-year goal doesn't seem that that.
Yeah, and we talked about that on the podcast, and like since you told us about that, we did another podcast where that was completely changed.
Yeah,
already within just those couple of months.
I've already achieved like three of my
3 of your 3 year. Yeah.
3 of my 6 years.
That's crazy.
Have already come true.
Wait, 3 of your 6 years.
6 years
that he thought he would be able to get to possibly in 6 years. He already did them.
Oh my gosh!
And I wrote them down.
Last couple of months for Zack have been crazy.
I wrote them down back in February. And in February, like one of them was I want to travel for work. I want to work. I want to explore the world and get paid to travel. That's what I'm doing now. That's my exact job. I travel the country.
Was this in the last podcast?
A little bit, yeah.
That was the next one.
For real? Oh man.
No, you're good. It's all good. It's not spoiling
it's
anything.
Nice to
That's one little thing.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And then you'll like the story at the end. The 30-minute the
old man
story.
Yeah,
the old man story.
Yeah, that was a nice little I mean, not exactly. I mean,
did I ever show you
a long story, not a short story?
Did I ever show? I showed you the picture of the guy, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it blew. I showed that to Abel today.
Billy, fucking you, dude. Yeah, that was you if you were born in nowhere, Oklahoma,
right?
Yeah.
which he has a little cabin in Oklahoma.
Yep, I already knew.
Yep.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah.
So
a little spittoon on the porch. Sorry.
So the next one. So Spanish.
Yeah.
You want to learn your limiting beliefs. Me is communication. So what's your second thing that you want to learn?
Oh, crap! I had it. I don't know how I was going to word it exactly. I need to learn the skills around being able to work from home, like with either the producing thing that I'm talking about, trying to get like other people's podcasts going, get a little bit of pay going from that. Managing that along with, financing and stuff like that. So just kind of learning a stay-at-home business, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Learning how to structure that to where you actually are bringing in money.
Yeah, to where it actually works.
Yeah. Got it? Okay.
There you go.
What's your number 2?
Learn how to be present more.
Learn how to be present.
Which it's like I already know all the answers.
Right, yeah.
To all the...
That's what's crazy. It's like when you actually vocalize, you were running into this the other day when I was over here, and it's like I have the questions. Like, as soon as I think about it, then I'm like, crap, I have the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, why does... why is the sky blue? And then you're like, it's like a reflection off the water or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it is, but or like, why does a fucking a gear work? And then you're like, well, because the other shit. Yeah. You can think about it, like you can ask the question, and then somewhere in your head you already had the answer.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I forget where I heard this, but probably like Neil deGrasse Tyson or something. It was some research thing where they discovered that our DNA has the capability that its max capacity to store is 13.2 billion years worth of data in our single DNA strand.
Oh, wow.
And so that would mean that our bodies, since we're constantly just being born, cycling through the earth, that our DNA already has 13.2 billion years worth of data in it.
The cave bear, bro.
And so it's already there. We just forgot how to access it. And
Planet
so,
of the Cave Bear. Sorry.
Right, and so, what is the
Planet of the Cave Bear?
Planet of the Cave Bear?
Yeah.
That's the book you were reading, right?
Yeah, the Neanderthal type people. That's how they can't think forward. They base everything off of memories.
Okay.
And so each life, or like each person, they live their life. They learn things, but they can only remember things that they like that happened to them in other lives.
Right.
Basically, and everybody has like a
Through
basically
evolution.
like a group consciousness or a group memory.
So have you ever heard of the Akasha records?
Yeah.
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 No. So the Akasha records are essentially think of it like your brain as if you think of your brain as a computer and your file system. Imagine there's a file that's on your computer that has all the records of all your past lives. And being able to access it. And the Akasha records are believed to be in your mind, that you can access it so you can gain all the knowledge from all your past lives.
Trippy.
Yeah. So that's kind of along the same lines as the Neanderthals. Like over time, they developed learning from their past in order to move forward.
Yeah.
My number 3 was learn Danish.
Well, you're going to need that.
Yeah, if I'm going to move to Denmark, I need to learn Danish.
Yeah.
So that's one of my big ones. It's like
should I learn Danish instead of Spanish, or do both?
well, Spanish. So like literally, when I wrote it down, so where's that? So what are? So if you read that, learn Spanish.
Multiple languages like Spanish,
Danish,
and sign language.
Yeah. So I want to learn Danish, sign language, and Spanish.
That's a trip.
Right.
Well, we'll both do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can come visit me in Denmark.
How soon? Well, no. We'll
Where is Denmark in relation to Amsterdam? Is it the same thing?
It's on the same planet.
Oh, yeah.
It's also both in Europe, I believe.
No,
Well, because I know Amsterdam has so many different names. It's Holland. Is it the same thing?
Well, no. Amsterdam is in northern the Netherlands.
Netherlands. See, Netherlands, Holland. It's all the same thing.
I believe it's in the same country. Yeah.
Netherlands, Holland. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like I believe Denmark is like 2 or 3 hours from like a train ride.
It's right over from Germany.
Yeah. Like I can't that's going to be just a mind blowing experience.
By the way, everybody there
Uh-huh.
in Holland look like models. Everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's so pretty.
Well, like when I went to Italy, I was like blown away by how beautiful the people were. Like natural, like no one's wearing makeup.
Yeah.
Like I was just like in shock. I was just like, wow, everyone's gorgeous here. And I was like a giant there.
Yeah.
Because I was also 60 pounds heavier then, and it's like I'm just like lumbering through, just like what the fuck.
The Italians are kind of relative. No,
They're
some of them
smaller.
are tall.
Yeah, they're definitely shorter.
Oh, okay. Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I could be tall.
Yeah. Actually,
Fuck
you would.
yeah, dude.
It's like if you want to be tall, just move to Italy.
Denmark, they're probably big, huh?
Yeah, it's a bunch of Vikings.
Yeah, I was about to say they're probably big.
They're right next to Norway, so I was like, I'm sure there's probably. I'm probably not going to be. I'm probably going to be like average if I'm lucky. If I'm one of the shorter people.
Yeah.
Could be a new perspective for me.
I was about to say, yeah, because you're used to being taller, bigger than people.
All right, so now onto the last step. So I want each of you to tell me what is one thing that you would like to create. Could be artistic, doesn't have to be artistic, just create.
I know.
You go ahead.
Community.
Community? So you want to
Create a
create,
community.
with your permaculture? That makes sense, yeah?
Yeah.
You want to create a community? Yeah.
I like that. I think I kind of along the same lines, but different with like the business that I was talking about. Like I need to create like like a network of people that I can provide this service to, kind of deal. Yeah. And so, yeah, I have to create that network and just kind of the business behind it.
Which it's already started.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the seeds have already been planted and it's starting to bear fruit a little bit.
Pretty dope. Yeah.
Or at least it's starting to sprout.
Currently working on it now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, it's I want to create an immersive art experience that is based around music. That's different than what we've seen before. So, like we obviously have music festivals that have art in it, and we have immersive experiences that have music in it.
What am I trying to think of? The cat thing, or what's it called?
Like Meow Wolf.
Meow Wolf, yeah.
Kind of the same thing, but like I want to curate my own artist and create something. It's like I have a vision for it, but it's like I need the people around me. I need specific people around me to help kind of bring that to life.
Interesting.
And it's like there's already quite a few of them that since I started vocalizing that one that have just kind of just magically just appeared.
Yeah.
That are already helping me in that regard.
So what did you call it? You said an art installation or a music
like an immersive art experience.
Okay.
But it's hard to let me word it out so that way.
Yeah, because you kind of put yourself into boxes once you put the words on it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
like I want to create an art experience that is based around music that we haven't ever experienced before. Because one of the things that I love doing is I love showing people
music that they haven't heard,
like trippy stuff and music that they've never seen. It's like, let me blow your mind.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's one of the reasons. Like, a lot of the festivals and stuff that I go to, the ones that I pick, like, I'm trying to form that vision in my head as to what I want. And so it's like I have a general idea, and I have things that I'm pulling from, but that's something that I would really love to do is to create some sort of art experience. That's what it is.
That's cool.
An art experience that incorporates music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like a festival.
Kind of, but not necessarily a festival.
Are you thinking like a permanent thing or like
or maybe a one-time thing where it's just put up and it's like, and it's different rooms and you're going into different experiences. There used to be a festival that I always wanted to go to and I never got a chance to because it got shut down.
Oh.
Or they stopped doing it. It was called Day for Night. Mm-hmm. And so they had put the main stage right next to this abandoned building. And then several of the floors were dedicated art installations that were based off light. And so they had these really cool, trippy light installations. Like there's one where you can actually put your hand out and the beam of light would hit your hand, but it actually the entire beam would rotate around your hand as your hand was this focal point. Mm-hmm. Like as if your hand was what was projecting the light.
Oh, wow.
It was the craziest looking thing. And then they have like music and different types of music in there, but then they had the main stage on the outside. Mm-hmm. And like the year that I wanted to go, they had Rez, Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and 9 Inch Nails.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it was
What year was this?
It was like probably 7 or 8 years ago. Okay. It was like when I first started getting into festivals.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to go to that.
That's
like
dope, dude.
And
what?
so if you look at the video, you can look at the Day for Night recap, and it's really fucking cool. Like I was like, okay, I would love to go to that.
And so it's discontinued now?
Yeah, like they stopped doing it. So it's like that was kind of what spawned my idea because like I always loved music, I always loved art, and then they combined it in a unique way that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to draw a little inspiration from that. Or have you ever seen Luma Fest? Mm-mm. It's in New York. It's free. You just go to New York, and it's literally all the different architectural buildings that they have. They use projection mapping to project it onto these really beautiful buildings, and it's these visuals that just collapse around using the building as a screen.
Okay.
Nice.
LumaFest is something that I've always wanted to go to. I thought that would be really.
I am showing the Day for Night thing on here. I'm not playing the sound just so that if anybody wants to kind of check that out. If you are watching the video,
right?
Just kind of show you what the sound is like.
But
what the hell? I do need to keep in mind that I, yeah.
that we're doing a podcast.
Well, that and that I am impaired. Well, not exactly, but
You are impaired.
yeah.
Interesting.
Aha. I am what I am, brother. Oh, there's Rez, dude.
Yeah,
Who's the chick with the mask?
I have no
The
idea.
mask? Oh, okay, right. I don't.
Yeah, a lot of at this time, like I didn't know a lot of the artists.
Oh, you know what that made me
right
think
on.
of? That pyramid thing that came to
Oh,
Arlington.
PY1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
I didn't get to go.
that night with Logan at PY1 was the funniest goddamn night I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, because we were both tripping really hard. Like we took mushrooms and we got there and we were getting in line, and then Logan forgot he had left his driver's license at home, so we had to rush back to the apartment.
Oh, my God. That was like the original apartment.
Yeah, like as we were trying to beat the mushrooms from kicking
Yeah.
in, like we were rushing back to get.
Oh, no.
But we did. We made it back plenty of time, and as we're walking in, everything's starting to kick in, and we're standing in line, and there's this girl who was right behind us, totally fine, glasses and everything. She's talking with her friends and whatnot. We go inside, and PY1 or P1, or was it PY1 or P1?
I don't remember
It was
what
something
it was
like
called,
that.
yeah.
But it was those who've never seen it. It's a pyramid, and inside of it, it's like a club, and they have visuals projected on all sides of it. Did you ever go inside?
Yeah.
So you have visuals projected on all sides. Well, I know that its initial design was to be an art installation. Like during the day, you go there and you lay on the ground and they do a whole spectacle for you.
Yeah.
And they have these cool, crazy lights and everything. But then at night, to help pay for it, they would turn it into a club or a rave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here.
And I remember I was going into it. I remember sitting there and like as the mushrooms are kicking in, I'm sitting there in my head. I was like, is this an art exhibit? Is this a
Or
rave?
are we at a rave right now?
Well, because I'm seeing people with like flow toys and
Yeah.
like gloving, so it felt like a rave. But then there were also people there that were like treating it like a club because they didn't give a shit about the art that was on there. They were just there to party, and it was a really weird combination.
Were you there for the actual
dude?
show?
That would fuck me up.
I never got a chance to actually go to the.
Because they did a show, and then after the show was over, then it's like it turned into a club.
Yeah, like I never got a chance to actually just go and lay down on the ground and watch it
okay.
because that's what I really wanted to
Yeah.
do. So literally, I was just there for like 2 hours, just like this.
Yeah, you
Just
said you were just walking
my
around
neck was
looking
like
at
so sore because like I'm just looking out. It's like, and in my head, I'm like, am I supposed to be dancing? I was in
Yeah.
a rave, and like
That'd be so weird to try to figure out while you're on mushrooms.
and-
Dude.
and
Like,
they
I
tra-
could not do it.
and they changed out DJs with no they didn't tell you that like we were there to see Destructo, and there was no like, all right, here's, like there was no pause, and then like you go to
Just
stare left.
seamlessly, like, moved him in there?
It was just like I'm like, when's Destructo go on? And I look up and there he is. And I'm like, okay, like there was no fanfare, no nothing, no like.
I wonder
like
if it
spot-
did happen, you just didn't notice. Like,
Oh, no, it
you're
was just-
literally like staring at the ceiling. They're like, and now,
No, there was nothing. I was like, but the two funny things that happened that night was one, literally like, God, I want to say 45 minutes, maybe less. All of a sudden, I get bumped into, and it's the girl from the line,
yeah.
and she spins around, and she like, sorry, like pushes her glasses up, and Logan's like, oh my gosh, that girl is trashed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's only been 45 minutes since we've got in. And I'm like, she went from sober as hell to, and Logan said it was like riggedy wrecked.
Yeah, there you go.
And she's like two fisting, like she got Bud Platinum.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
She came into this for one reason only, and that was to get trashed.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
wrecked,
I was like,
son.
it's a $50 ticket. These are not easy to come by. Like people
Yeah.
these are
I
selling
think they were
out.
sold out by the time I got around to get
And I'm
one,
like,
yeah.
I was like, if you're sole reason, you just completely wasted that ticket. Like you could have just gone
I
to a
remember
bar.
anything.
Yeah.
Dude.
You could have gone to a free bar and gotten completely trashed and not spend a dime.
Yeah.
But like she was gone, and within that 45 minutes, she was kicked out.
Oh, no.
And so, but me and Logan are just dying, just
Yeah.
watching her trying to navigate. This.
Oh yeah.
And then as that happened,
Worse off than y'all.
I'm like sitting there, like just enjoying the visuals, and that's when sense someone like right in my bubble. And so my eyes come down, and there was a guy and his girl. The girl was in front of him, and they were walking past, as people do when you're at a rave or anything. They walk past other people.
Right.
But he stopped, and the side of his face is like this far from me. And like I look up, and I'm like, boom, like ear hole. Like I can see the side of his eyeball, and I'm like that close, and he like stops, and he's like, babe, and the girl turns around. He's like, I think I chipped my veneer. Like right in my face, and I'm like, get the fuck away from me!
Get away from me, dude!
Like
what are you
the
doing?
like,
What?
Like,
Boundaries, people.
I'm like, go away.
Was there like more space around for him to
Oh, there was plenty of space. Like it wasn't packed. It was. I mean, like there was room for me to dance. There were people on the floor gloving. Like there were people with
Like
floor
he was
toys.
basically touching you.
Yeah, like he was just right there, and I was just like,
Get away from me.
The worst example of a human ever. I'm like, you're worried about your veneer.
Oh my god!
I chipped my veneer, babe. I'm like,
just stop.
just go away. Get away from me. It's literally because Logan was standing right next to me. He didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, he just hears me go, "Get away from me now!" And he's just like, he's like, what happened?
That's hilarious.
What did the dude do?
He was just like, oh, whatever, man, and just like walked off. Didn't do really act. Like as if I was the problem. I was like, bro,
Like you're being weird. I was literally just standing
I'm
here.
standing here.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I was just like, what the hell? Like that was the weirdest night experience because I didn't know what it was.
Dude, that reminded me of a story. I'll tell this, and then I feel like we'll probably hop off of here.
Yeah.
But the time that me and Logan went to your house, and it's like fucking 11 o'clock or something like that, and fucking Zack walks in. And he's just got a little piece of acid on his tongue. He's like, eh. We're like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That.
And then he's like, stick out your tongues. And he just fucking, and we both, dumbass, just stick out our tongues. And he just fucking plops one on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then we realized we left our other party favors at home.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes away. Mm-hmm. With acid, you have,
maybe an hour.
Maybe an hour.
Top.
If you're lucky. Yeah. If you have eaten and shit that day and like a bunch of other stuff has to go right.
Yeah.
So we immediately hop in the car. Run back to our house in Arlington.
Grab your stuff.
Grab our stuff. Come back. Like the last 5 minutes of the drive was getting weird.
Yeah.
And then we go and we have like a pretty trippy time over at the house. I remember sitting under the Christmas tree.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things.
Like a couple hours.
Lay under the Christmas tree while tripping. It's so cool.
It's really cool because the inside,
it looks. Everything looks like glass.
Yeah, it does, dude.
And I remember you and Logan were telling me that you're trying to get me to get up to go on the patio to watch all the little animals come in the morning during sunrise. It looked like a Disney cartoon, like the bunnies and the squirrels and the birds.
This is a tiny little yard too. Like there was so much activity, dude. There were so many. There were literally like a couple of different groups of squirrels chasing each other. There's a little bunny running around out there, dude. And
yeah. I miss that. I love
the
that.
The birds were nuts.
The one off MacArthur? Yeah.
That part was. I remember when you came and tripped there, and you were laying. I remember where'd Kristen go? She's just in the grass.
Where you
hopped over
that tree.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she's just laying because that grass felt so nice, and no one took their pets to go do anything there. So.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a fun one.
Nice to have fucking grass,
right?
You will. Did you water the grass? You didn't.
I forgot to water the grass. We didn't go water the grass. All right.
But so we will wrap up. So the whole purpose of this is now that we've written it down, we have it written down. Next year when we come to the October 13th, we'll revisit and see how close we are to these.
Yeah.
But what your homework now is now that you have your 3 experiences that you want to experience.
Son of a bitch! I should have known.
Break that down. Where do you need to be in a year in order for each of those 3 things? So for your pick one thing on your list.
Let's do get the land with no mortgage / strings is what I put.
Yeah. So where do you need to be in a year in order for that to be a reality? What do you see yourself need to be in a year?
Because this is 3 years.
Yeah,
right?
3 years out.
Okay.
Your 3 years experience, 3 years. And so once you have that year for each where you need to be in a year, now you can start setting yourself goals to attain that where so that way in a year you'll be either where you're at or well past it.
Yeah. Which is
or even achieved it. Hey. Imagine if y'all would achieve that.
It already moved. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be wild. So what I'll do is now to wrap it up, I'm going to count us back out of the meditative state.
Oh shit!
So real simple. You don't have the music anymore, do you? It's fine.
No, I can pull it really fast, really fast. Sorry.
We'll just get real silent and see how really fast it actually is.
No, dude, what was it? Not here. It is right here.
All right.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm pretty good at stuff sometimes, you know.
So it's going to be real quick. So just close your eyes, sit back, take in the intentions that we set. The 3 experiences that you're wanting to experience in the next 3 years. 2 things that you're wanting to learn, and the 1 thing that you're wanting to create. Now what we're going to do is we're going to count from 1 to 5 and bring you out of the meditative state. 1, 2, 3. When I hit 5, you're going to awaken, clear-minded, with clear intentions as to what your 3-year goals are. 4, 5.